What is going on? Welcome back to some more Vault Hunters here on the Leftovers SMP. We just got finished up with a nice little 9 or so times gilded run there for one specific reason, and that is because today we've got some building to do. We got to do some infrastructure projects, and I wanted to get a bunch of this ancient copper ingots here. So we got a whole bunch of that from that run, which is fantastic. And we're going to go ahead, get this stuffed into our system here, because then we can take this ancient copper and craft up something we're going to need for today's project, which is going to be a bunch of these little copper trapdoors. Boom. I think a stack is probably a good start for today. Let's actually see what we got in the old crate here as well. Kiwis, little gold, a blank seal. Those are good things that we like to have for sure. Nice little relic there as well, which is always good. So let's dive over to this area here. Get this stuff swamped out for my overworld set, because we're going to do a little work on the garage here on a project we started a while ago that I've kind of been neglecting. Now, we're all the way up to level 81 now. We've got a bunch of stuff that we need for the vault altar, and I have not put a lot of effort yet into infrastructure and getting things going. So you can see I got some random things around the garage here. We've been working on a little bit of orb action. I just built this cobblestone generator up a little bit ago because we're going to need some of that to create some more things for the future, and we got to get some more of these kind of automated production systems in place, I think. And if you remember correctly, from when we built the garage here, we set up this temporary janky ass ugly windmill inside this portion of the garage here. And this is what I want to work on today, because I think I've got the perfect plan over here for a really cool pipeline that will run over to the water, and then we're going to build up a little system here to power up this whole building with some create power. Now I also did go ahead and install, I think if I go up here maybe, you can see I installed a little solar panel on the roof here. We're all bouncy. Forgot about that. So we do have a little bit of power stored up in here. I mean, just casual 2 million power that we've been using for, what is it, some of this other stuff. Ooh, I almost donked my head on the I-beam there. So yeah, I've been using this because the other day the altar required not just packed ice, but it required blue ice, and this stuff is very tricky to craft. So I think this is now full. Okay, I'm pretty sure, didn't I just make keys for this? What did I do with them? Oh, they're right here. Okay, perfect. Just where I left them. So we should actually be able to lock that and quantify it so we can see this thing is actually jam-packed full of packed ice. Get it? Packed full of anyway, yeah, so we got one stage of this going here to get automated packed ice, which is kind of nice. Probably should get some upgrades. I did also off camera craft up this bad boy. We got a little wireless crafting grid here now that I keep forgetting about. So we should be able to just go in here, reach into our storage from the garage now, and pick out some stuff that we need. So when we're working in the garage, we have the ability to upgrade and do things and craft things so we can hang out. I probably need a garage fridge, like, fridge over here full of cold drinks or something would be probably a good idea at some point. But anyway, yeah, lots of cool little contraption things that I want to work on in here so that we can automate more of the crystal recipes as we need them. Like, let's see if we can get a perfect example. How cool would it be if I put in a vault rock and gave me an example of something that I don't have enough of that we can automate in the garage here? Let's try this out. Bam. Okay, so we get meat, which we got enough of. What is that? Concrete powder, probably. Looks like it. And then yeah, so actually we don't have enough concrete powder. So that would be a perfect example of something we could peek into here and go, okay, how do we get more concrete powder of any variety? Essentially, we need sand, gravel, and dye, right? And currently, excuse me, I think I have a boatload of sand in my system. just from all the digging and whatnot we've done around the beach. But do we have much gravel in the system? It does not look like it. So only 310 gravel. Not a lot compared to the 4,000 sand we have. However, the machine that we just actually looked at, ironically, the cobblestone generator that we produced, we can use to make gravel. So that is easily something that we can work on right off the bat here to give us the resources we need in order to craft lots and lots of concrete powder. We also got unlimited nether stars and more power. I forgot we set this up too. I did a little pirate power bank here now. So I did make up a niotic thermal generator here, pumping out water and all that. So now basically the power on the storage system won't run out during the nighttime because we were having issues with the power going out at night. And now I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, lots of cool stuff to get planned over here in the garage. Let me get my bits and pieces together here, and we'll get started on some garage power. Off to a pretty decent little start here. We got a nice little structure over here holding up our water wheel and a big water tank on top. So this thing is meant to be kind of self-containing, where the water wheel is being powered with the water, which if we go on the other side here, has got a nice little belt that is powering a pump here with a little pulley guy that's sucking the water out of there. And that is actually pumping the water up into this tank here. You should be able to see that is starting to fill up. I think if I get a little closer, do I have any blocks on me to get up here? Yeah, so this thing's starting to fill up. We can fit 28,000 millibuckets in there. So, yeah, it's like a lot of water. As that fills up, the top portion here isn't technically doing anything, but it kind of looks like the water would spill out from there into this little area and then drops down to power the wheel. So in addition to that, kind of looking sort of neat. I don't know if I love this yet. I might want to make that tank a little bigger to match the base of that or something. I don't know. This little ledge there's a little bit goofy with this kind of being not supported very well. So I might have to try to up that a little bit. But then we also want this to actually pump over to where that pipe is coming out of the side of the garage there. Is kind of the main idea here. And now I'm going to probably have to add some additional pipes, but I don't know. I would like for the water to actually get pumped out of here. And I believe if I can just get a little bit closer. Oops. If we do this, can I just... Yeah, there we go. I think I'm going to have to get an additional pump up here that is going to pump that way. Because I don't remember how many blocks a pump can actually transport water. But we're going to have to test that out. I might need a couple of them here in order to get all the way over. If I could just pipe straight out to here. See where this comes out. I'm going to run out of pipes again, aren't I? And then along the way here, we're going to have to make several little support pillars of some sort. I got to decide on a design for that. So once this gets over to here, do you want to go underneath or up? I'm thinking if we just do like columns like this, the pipe will go across there, and then I believe we can put... Let's break one of these out just to try this so I have enough. Like that, and then can I put these on top of here? I can. Excellent. I don't like that one, though, exactly. But I think I have some of these other ones, so let's try... If I were to plop that down and then put one of these metal supports on there, that looks much nicer, I do believe. And somewhere in here, we will have to install a pump. Probably a few of them. And then I think I'll probably strip this down. We can put some supports along the edge there. That'll go all the way over to that. It's going to look fantastic. Does this tell me how many blocks? Does not. What if we go into here and look for a pump? Obviously, we'll need a couple more of these. I think I'm honestly out of copper, so I'm going to have to probably go do some copper collecting. Mechanical pump. So tell me how far. Because obviously, if we're going to add more pumps, we need to power the pumps like this one is with another gear. So I would have to also transfer this water wheel energy over in this early direction to match up with... I wonder if I should do something a little fancier than that. But yeah, it looks like I need some more copper because I'm going to need more pipes and whatnot. But I can start on this side a little bit here. The idea inside here is that I can get rid of this. Like so. And this. These will have to get rearranged in some fashion or another. But if we go into here and I place a tank like so, which will have the water in it, we got to figure out, I got this little steam engine here is the main guy. Now, rotation direction. You put that on there. Okay, steam engine can be placed on the fluid tank. Got it. Okay, then we put clicking the engine with a shaft to create the kinetic output. Okay. So we got to shaft it up. How do we... So that's probably going to be one further out then, isn't it? So this can go on there, and then I go like this. Oh, okay. That is not exactly in the direction I would like it to be, though. So can I move this back to a more desirable location? Wait, we're cooking. We're cooking. I'm getting there. We're almost there. I'm close. So close. This shaft. Give me rotational speed controller. Goes here. Caution. And then what kind of gearbox is that? Vertical gearbox? Here with that. I think is connected to there, which powers the rest of this. Okay. Okay. We're somewhere. And then this, we need heat under that. It is small. We can increase the height of it though. Sizes and everything. So we need heat and we need water. That is not very good for heat. This is typically why I do this stuff off camera, because my brain sits here and twists and turns like these gears for about an hour before I figure out what the frick is going on here. I need to get water into this thing though, right? So that would pull water into there. Okay, so I need more copper and more pipes and more time to figure this out. I think it's working now. Had to add a little modification to the pipe area over here because our pump wasn't quite pumping far enough. But now I do believe we have all of our water pumping from over there. This turned out a lot uglier than I was envisioning in my brain head, because we need all these pumps and everything else, and I always forget how hard it is to make create look simple. With all the complexity and having to get things in the right spots and only being able to go so far and whatnot, it's tough to do cleanly. So I think, you know, this is not bad. I do think that maybe needs a little bit more decoration and whatnot down on that end, but for the most part, it's working okay so far. So that is self-sustaining. The water wheel down there is pumping all the water all the way over to this side, and then that generates, gets the water into here, which it is a little slow at the moment. We could use more water in there for sure. But we're getting 2,048 stress units. We do get that little speed upgrade now. We should have these running all over the place. So our cobblestone generator can go a little quicker. This thing can go a little quicker. How fast can we actually run this at, I wonder? Not that I want this to run like super quick, but could we go like all the way up to... No, not that fast. 63? Nope. 50? Okay, yeah, so we can really... I'll probably run it at like 32 for now. If we start to add more stuff to it, it's obviously going to become more stressed. We did manage to add on our little... What just happened? We ran out of water. As I mentioned that, this is no longer pumping fast enough. Two millibuckets per second. I must have started sucking more water when I turned the speed up, so that's probably also gonna be a problem. Okay, so the idea I think is really cool. The implementation here is proving to be more difficult than I would have expected. I need to either figure out a way to get this bad boy running a little faster or something, because even this one, I can't increase the speed of this too much without overstressing this system. Yeah, see, that's overstressed there. 31, I can run that at 31. That gives me a little more water more quickly. I'm assuming this is not even filling up then, because how do I have that? Oh, yeah, this pump is pumping off that, which is super slow. So I'm actually running out of water because of that. So we need to probably figure out how to make that pump faster too. So I've been running around the base here for a little while doing some additional upgrades. We have got some decoration improvements on the water system over here. I went ahead and added a windmill on the end here, even though it looks kind of goofy to have the watermill and the windmill attached, because it allowed me to increase the speed of this guy over here, which was kind of necessary in order to improve the flow of water. Here, if I go back over to our steam engine inside, this thing now has, you know, 2 little dashes of water there instead of 1. So it allows us to get some more water into there, which we can eventually use to expand this system here. This I'm going to keep at a pretty low level because we want to have lots of stuff going on here. And I don't really need it to be super, super quick. We could improve the speed a little bit, but not entirely necessary. So as we showed before, I do have the generation of cobblestone going on here. And then I added this cool new little system over here that is doing a few different things, and it's kind of doing some goofy stuff behind the scenes. So the cobblestone gets generated here. The modular router back there sends it up to this thing here, which you can see a little laser there. This will crush the cobblestone into gravel, which goes in down here. And then I have some different, different modular routers all over the area here. So we've got this distribution module here, so it's distributing the contents of this. You can see it's whitelisted with gravel, so it's going to send the gravel partially to there, partially to here, and partially to over here in a round robin fashion. So that's doing that. This is pulling it out of this barrel into there. Then this sender here, it's kind of layered here. Basically sends everything that's not sand or gravel over to that barrel over there. So it's going to take out the flint and other stuff that ends up coming through there, because we're sending some of the gravel back into here to be crushed into other stuff. As you can see here, we got that going in. That's going to turn into, what is it? If we crush the gravel, we get uses out of it. We get the flint and the clay balls. So that'll get sent up top there to that conveyor, which is kind of just decorative. That conveyor runs all the way along the edge, all the way over to here into this thing. You can see we got flint up there. This is supposed to send this stuff over to the house, right? which it looks like iron nuggets are probably... Which one is that being sent to? This might be sent to the drawer controller, actually. I should have grabbed that thing to check. I think it gets sent to the drawer controller over here to make sure that this actually goes into there rather than just filling up my system. So it backed up because we don't have a spot for iron nuggets to go in the system. And that is fine. We will go ahead and make another compacting drawer. So there's a variety of different reasons why a lot of this stuff has kind of ended up in where it is. So we'll get the iron here and I'll show you in a second. Lock that. Why we need this. We'll quantify that. And then all we have to do here is find a spot to squeeze this into the system. I don't have a great location for it. I don't know if I go further over, is this going to work? If I put it over here, I don't really want it there actually. I'm running out of space for drawers and stuff to go over here, so that is slightly problematic. For now, let's put it down here because we don't need that. So it looks like those nuggets should have went in there for now. We could plop this in here. And then we'll get back over. So I wanted to show you why we need some of these different things, right? So let me just make sure this is working. Now the flint should be sent over there as well. You see that pops off. We got sand and all that kind of stuff being produced over here. So we're producing a few things: sand, gravel, flint, clay, and now we're getting some of the iron nuggets and whatnot out of there. And that is because we needed the iron to make hoppers, because we're trying to make more of these hopping botany pots, and we need hoppers to do that. If we get the iron in a compacting drawer, we can make that happen, because over here under the base, if you're sticking with me now, there's a lot going on. It gets kind of complicated, but I kind of just truck along a little bit, let my brain cook some ideas on how to process everything up here. So we're getting a little bit of iron at a time. It should be very slow, but it's pretty much non-stop, so that can work along the way. I need to like frame these drawers all and fix them up nice and pretty. But if we go down here, you can see this is why I need the hopping botany pots. So I created a whole additional wall here. This is all tied into that same drawer controller up above. And I started to put all of these farmable things that we're going to need for the altar in this area down below. So let's see if we can get maybe a good example. If I plop one of these in here, we have this automation now. Look at here, even probably roses are probably when it's going to yoink all my stuff out of here in time. Yeah, now I have 0 rose bushes anymore, which is unfortunate. So this is actually a great example of, now I need to go find maybe a piece of bone meal quick here and either get some kind of like roses or sunflowers. And then if I go for a botany, hopping botany pot, do I have the stuff to make one now? We got the hopper. Boom. I'll make one of these. And we'll do this in real time together here. I'll go get whichever I can find first, either a rose or a sunflower, some kind of too tall flower. Can the too tall flowers even go in these? I wonder. Let me double check first. Sunflower. Can I get these in a botany pot? I can. Okay, cool. Let's grab this. Because we're actually needing flowers in order to breed like bees and stuff too. So it'd be good to have these going. So what we'll do here, head back in the house, and then we go down. If I put that in there now, it's going to pull it out of there, and we don't want that to happen, do we? We need a dirt. So let's do this. I'm going to have to break our nice little shelf here. We'll have to get more of those as we go. Put this botany pot up here. And we'll put the sunflower in and the dirt in. And the reason I'm under the floor here is because I have this little distributor module here, as you can see, is grabbing from these other ones. So I can plop that under here. We have this going into the router. Thunderstorm is ridiculous. And then this is going into here, which this sender, I believe, goes up to the drawer controller so that this can fill in to all the areas here. You can see there was some wheat from this little guy built up over there. Where'd our block go here? I don't know why there's flint in there, but that's totally fine. And then we can put this guy back there. Eventually we'll have like a bunch of really cool rows of planted stuff down here. And then I just need this to grow enough of these that I can get a flower out, put it in the drawer controller here, or in one of these drawers here. And then this will automatically fill up our altars when we need stuff like flowers, roses, peonies, all that kind of good stuff. So that is kind of the basis of what I've been trugging along at here, is trying to get botany pots down here, but I'm also trying to produce the resources needed in order to get me all the goodies that I want over from the garage there. So you can see we got sand and stuff shooting over to the house here, and those are all going into drawers with void upgrades. Let me go check over at Fuzzy's place here. I know he was working on a little friend named Terry to help out with rain and stuff, and I tried to fix it earlier because this guy, speaking of sunflowers, was not being given the flowers, and I wonder if I did this incorrectly. No, that should power that, shouldn't it? Did you not get a little flower guy? Do I know how to do redstone? I swear this should work, right? If I hit this. Oh, it didn't go off. How come it went off when I clicked it with a button then? Interesting. What happens if I put another block on top of here? Am I just dumb? I think I might be. I swear that should work. Maybe it needs to have another redstone on top of it? I swear I tried that earlier and it worked, but let me see if I can't fix this real quick, because this little guy's supposed to make the rain go away. How does that not? Did you get it now? Yay. I think that worked. I don't know why it didn't go off the other time. I don't know. Seems like it'd be working fine, but anyway, that is so far what I got going on. This thing is powering the stuff inside the shop now with the steam engines. I do want to try to add some more of this stuff to get more power and whatnot, but for now, it's got enough to process what we needed to process. We're manufacturing sand. There's a lot of sand coming out of there all of a sudden. What in the heck? So sand's getting washed into clay balls and whatnot, which we obviously need the clay. Maybe it's not that obvious, I guess. But we needed the hopping botany pots. We need the clay to make the terracotta is part of that plan. And then we're also producing iron now, which we did not have a lot of before, so that we can continue to get our crystals automatically crafted along the process. Now, this still has not made any more of those. We do have a couple more iron nuggets. Like I said, slowly but surely, we are getting what we need in order to produce these. This, I guess, won't... Yeah, perfect. Okay, I was going to say it wouldn't have done any yet. But if we put these in here, boom, we get 3 of those. It's going to suck them up automatically. We got upgrades in here so we can make sure nothing overflows and we don't lag out the whole server at spawn. But those get pulled right into there and everything is fine and dandy. I did also make one other adjustment over here while we're rambling along. I don't remember if I showed this to you or not yet, but I added a new system up on the roof here so that if I go ahead and do these things down here, if I turn this thing on, which will hit the green to turn it on, reds to turn it off, this thing will start producing. Get some bones in there so we can get some bone meal going. And you can see on the outside, when this thing is operating, we get a nice little ring of lights around the outside to know, hey, the farm's on, it's doing stuff. Don't worry, don't get scared by all the noises. But then, whether we just let this thing run overnight, or if I forget to turn it off or whatever, when it becomes daytime again, which we can demonstrate by taking a quick sleep, you can see that automatically this farm turns off completely and no more skeletons, no more noise. So whether I forget to turn it off and it just turns to day naturally, or someone sleeps or whatever, the farm turns itself back off and we don't have to worry about it continuing to run and lag the whole server. So that's pretty cool. We got more automation of the stuff in the garage done. Lots of really good things that I think are going to help us to continue vaulting on our way to level 100. But that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you did, join me again soon for some more Hot Vault Hunters action.